This is going to outcompete with Supernote. A fascinating idea there is what they're doing here. They've come out with a really thin, plastic feeling, no front light, 300 PPI. I also can't see any mention of the BSR on there as well, so that should mean better battery life. And yeah, if they want to call it a Go series, then that battery life had better last all week. This is a gotcha against the Remarkable 2. Absolutely agree with that, which now isn't the finished tablet in the world. And yeah, by undercutting it by 0.1 millimeter, when you scroll down here, you can see it's actually 4.6, which is 0.1 millimeter thinner than the Remarkable 2. This is now the world's thinnest e-paper tablet, an ultra thin tablet with paper lightweight, designed for creative minds. Fascinating. So this one has the Pen Plus. Here on my desk is the actual Supernote A5X. Fabulous thing, still going strong. It sits on my desk because it's a list of all the things I've kind of got to do when I'm sat on the desk at the minute. Is my main sort of use of this. And I really, every time I revisit the Supernote, I have good things to say about it. That's an example of a screen which doesn't have a front light, and there's a reason why they haven't put that front light in. It should have the exact same processor as the Note Air 3C, which is the 6225 from Snapdragon. So it's a good processor, a 6 series though, so it's quite a long time ago, but it is a good processor, but it isn't going to be fired up to the same level as the Tab Ultras of the world. So any benchmarks that you've read for Note Air 3 or Note Air 3C, you can read for these two devices as well. And if I remember rightly, it's about 400 to 500 in Geekbench for single core and about 1,200 for multi-core. So not bad, but certainly not blowing your mind kind of specifications. They aren't your multitasking productivity devices here. They are your readers and your note takers here. So the price is going to be $379, so $380, okay? And again, you can check out all the different prices through the links below. Similar in Hong Kong and in the Euro store, it's a similar sort of story, but converted. So it's a good price, and it's also cheaper than the Note Air 3, although not by much. So the Note Air 3 is $399, so £400, and it's cheaper than the Note Air 3C, which is $499, so $500 these are rather. And then the Tab Ultra C Pro is up to sort of $600. So there you are. So it's undercut the Boox devices, and it's undercut the Remarkable. In fact, it is the same price as the cheapest you can buy a Remarkable without a case right now, which is that you can buy the Remarkable 2 with the ordinary marker pen. They have to bundle it in now for 380 quid. So it's the same price as that. And they're going to give you the free magnetic case. Both of them have magnetic cases, the Go 7 and the Go 10.3. I did think straight away, and I asked them, why have you released this tablet? What is different about it compared to the Note Air 3C? And they talked about this. This is about ultra portability. It's about paper light. It's about thinness. It doesn't have a micro SD card slot. It doesn't have a front light to allow it to be thinner. So it's really an interesting one. It's lighter than the Remarkable. So it is a different device. I think it's different enough. And somebody asked me, they said in a comment, right, I'm really struggling between the Note Air 3, between the Tab Ultra C Pro, and between the Go 10.3. And I said, well, the choice is really quite simple. You want the Go series if you want it cheaper but thin and light. You want the Note series if you want the premium note taker, because certainly this aluminium kind of finish is going to be more of an attractive, more of a kind of premium finished device, this CNC aluminium there. And you want the Ultra if you want the powerful productivity. But you are all right though, and this has been talked about quite a lot, that there are a lot of new 10.3 devices regularly from Boox. Why can't we have the X color soon, please? Why can't we have a new Palmer with mobile communication? Why can't we have a 7.8 that isn't color and that's current? Where's the Go 7.8 with Wacom ultra thin as well? It does seem like they're really focusing in on that. The ultra thin tablet with a paper lightweight, super clear e-paper display made for creative minds. So yeah, we're talking about actually it's going to look even more clear than this one, which has the Wacom layer, and then it has the extra gap for the front light. You can see, but it's going to look as white as this one here, which is just, this has got a front light. It's going to look whiter and clearer and crisper than this. It's going to look whiter and clearer and crisper than the Kindle Scribe is. And the Kindle Scribe has, one of the nicest screens. It is pretty much going to be this screen, but it won't have that extra gap. I'm trying just to show you that shadow that you get there. Can you see that? That's that extra. You see the shadow that's being cast by the side of the device? That's that extra little gap where the front light is. And this is a device without the front light, but this is an older, much older screen, a 227 pixel per inch screen. And this is a lower contrast screen. So the back of this is darker than it will be on the brand new device. So there's going to be lots and lots and lots to love about this brand new device. It is the Pen Plus that they're giving with this. So this is the same Pen Plus as you get on the Note Air 3. Perfectly acceptable stylus. It's Wacom Mars stylus. It's very, very light. It's the right one to go with it. Yeah, sure, it doesn't have the rubber on the back as well. Yeah, I thought, why is this not a Note Air 3 Plus? Because I think we were all expecting to see a Note Air 3 Plus, which had the 300 pixel per inch screen. And the answer is really in that little diagram there. This is plastic construction, and that's got that textile feel on the back. It's going to have this leatherish kind of feel on the back. It's as thin as they could possibly make it. They're going to be using the same kind of marketing terms that Remarkable do, thin and light. In fact, that's what Apple will use all of the time, thin and light. But they're going to be talking more about this being like the most paper-like tablet they could make. So this is actually a departure. So rather than just make, this Note Air 3 is kind of good enough, but everyone was hoping it would have the 300 pixel per inch screen. It doesn't. The 227 is certainly still doing it. It's absolutely fine. But rather than just add a better screen on that, they thought, let's make a different category for somebody who doesn't want the front light, who wants a more paper feeling, more simple kind of design. And I, for one, am excited for it. It is different to the Note series. The differences are the 300 pixel per inch screen, the no front light, and the plastic body. And it being lighter. But other than that, it's a lot of similarities to the Note Air 3. It's got the same size battery, it's got the same processor, it's got the same RAM, and all of those things are good enough for a notes-focused device. And I think you might remember in a live stream, Voya was talking about the original Remarkable One, and he said, I wish somebody would make a less expensive device out of plastic, more like the Remarkable One. Well, maybe we have it here. Maybe we have something where actually it is more like the look and feel of the Remarkable One, that plastic feeling. It won't be as cheap as somebody could make a Remarkable One for now, is going in as the cheapest books 10.3 inch, isn't it? So there we are. And over time, hopefully they'll get even more cheaper and finally maybe be one that is the right price for students to get into this technology. There's no fingerprint reader is another reason to go for the Note Air series. Some of you might really like that fingerprint reader. If you're logged into Google Play Store, of course you want to protect your device because it will know that it's you using it, so you want to put a pin on. You've got to live with typing your pin whenever you want to do things on this thing. That's something to think about before you go for this. It is really nice just being able to pop your finger on top of the device. You do like this, and hey presto, it's unlocked. I think it's a really, really good implementation of a fingerprint reader there. It's going to have that leather feeling back. I think I've said that a couple of times. And it doesn't seem like it's the original origami case. Now that might be disappointing for some of you. Now, I don't know where it will be in this, if it will be anywhere, but in one of the promotional videos, they show the case. And what actually happens with the case is, can you see the clasp actually comes off the case? So just like the Note Air case has the clasp like that, what will actually happen in this is that whole clasp will come off. Why is that important? Well, because right now, all I can do is choose to fold that back, and that when I'm writing, you get wobble right in that corner. So here we go. If I go across to this side here, look, can you see that wobble just there? Where the magnet is. So quite clever there from Boox really, and mostly their cases are reasonably good, even though there are magnets across the whole thing. Mostly their cases are pretty good at maintaining sort of clear straight lines, but the one place that you get the wobble is where the clasp is. So you can actually just take the whole clasp off, which is it's a good way around that, isn't it? But you're then going to just lose the clasp, aren't you? But there we are, you're going to lose the clasp. But the clasp is there to make sure that the magnetic stylus doesn't just get knocked off and lost in your bag. But it isn't going to have this cool feature, which is that this thing this folds up at the back like so. Do you remember when this came out and nobody could do it? And there we are. And now it's standing up vertically. So unfortunately, the new device won't have this option. One of the animations, right at the very top of this one actually, shows the screen, here it is, going from lower contrast to much higher contrast. Although this is quite grayed out so you can read this writing, in the video, the promotional video, this animation is like really grey to really white. So they're saying this is that next generation. This is that same screen technology that's in the Scribe, and it is a much better contrast between the white areas and the dark areas. So I, for one, think that's going to be a really, really nice screen to use.